Alright, so getting into the VOD review. So, going for the Yasuo is good. It's
I
hard to
didn't get
say.
it.
Rip. It's hard to say what is the meta now because I've heard people talk about different things. People are saying tier is a viable start if you try to play Divine. I don't know. Is this on the current patch or was this on the last patch?
This is current patch. I played this last night.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, you get the Lissandra. We'll just skip forward a little bit. Okay, so you ended up getting a gold drop for Lissandra. Okay, so I like the Lissandra selling.
Yeah, I think I sell that and I grabbed the. I think I grabbed the Yasuo
Picking
here.
up, yeah, selling the other Lissandra, picking up the Yasuos would be really good. I like that you scout here. You
It's
saw
really
one person
slow,
playing
but
them. I mean, that's fine. Well, it's not super important to scout early. Like here, it's always picking up the Yasuo and selling the Lissandra, grabbing the other Yasuo and putting them in. Perfect. And then here, it's either grabbing one of the Veins or holding the Nidalee. I think holding the Nidalee is better. If you get a gold drop, you can get Sharpshooter. Yeah, here's where I would sell the Nidalee. But that's just to get Dusk. It's not super
yeah,
important. I think
I didn't think about it.
either selling the Thresh and then buying the Vayne pair, or selling the Nidalee and buying a Vayne. That would give you sharpshooters here. Those are the only improvements I can see, especially because if you have a duelist opening like this, it still lets you hold the Yasuo as a frontliner. Because Yasuo frontline's really, really good because he gets free shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so here it's going duelist every game, right? It's definitely like, that. I don't
Well,
like that you...
I went duelist. I pivoted out though later on. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, definitely. If there's something bad that comes up, but for the other game, definitely duelist. I still don't like that you don't have like a backline thing. The Nidalees would be good.
Yeah, and I slammed QSS here.
Yeah, I don't...
I don't know exactly why I did that, but
It's fine, but I don't like that you did it right now instead of
on the
later.
actual round where it
Right, and
matters.
I don't like the selling the Nidalee because Nidalees are really strong right now, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I was kind of checking out duelist here a little bit.
yeah,
And
but
so
right now
I
you
was
don't
like,
have
Jana maybe, but
the 4 duelists yet, so... And plus it's a Nidalee pair. But, like, I would have sold the Thresh also here. Or, like, the thing before. Yeah, so here is, like, really good duelist start. It would obviously be...
as soon as I saw that bell, I was kind of thinking Brawler Ashe a little bit.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's always good to think about those things. So here, yeah, the Fiora is perfect. Janna, yep. And again, like, having this Thresh is not doing much for you. But...
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out whether playing Yasuo or Fiora here is better. Like double Yasuo or the Fiora, I think. But I think I went with the Fiora. Yeah, for the Enlightened.
Yeah. And then if you were trying to win streak here, you either put Bow on Yasuo or Janna. So, they're both fine. We'll just skip the fight. You win it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so pretty good. A couple people are playing duelist, so it's something that you definitely can look to pivot out of. So yeah, out of this shop, the Annie pair is good. You don't have mages, so you can't like transition into mages right here. The fucking Hecarim is really good. Yeah, I don't see any other improvements for this.
I think I might. No, I don't.
The only improvement
I was thinking that I might have switched the Hecarim. I think the Hecarim and Thresh going in over Janna and Fiora and having having two Vanguard with Yasuo Duelist is better. I think.
I don't think so.
Okay, no, I just pick up the.
I think the Janna really helps out Yasuo because Yasuo is gonna be all your damage, and the Janna being able to give shields really fast with Enlightened is really what's gonna win you fights. Because like if you pick up the Vanguards and stuff, yeah, you have Vanguards, but like they're not gonna really help you win the fight.
Yeah.
Outside of whatever.
And I'm pretty sure I lose I'm pretty sure I lose this one to the Akali.
Yeah, and as for the Annie pair, I mean, if you ever pick up this Annie pair, you sell your Yasuos. Because you're no longer... If you are picking up this Annie pair, you need better things with it. So if you pick up the Annie pair, I would sell your Yasuos, and then you can keep your Thresh in. Because at this point, Thresh has value again, because he, you have picked up Vanguards. Alternatively, what you could have done here, like, because I don't know if you're trying to win streak or not, but if you're okay with losing from this point on, you could just make 10 gold here.
Yeah.
But if you're, like, still on the fence about winning or losing, I would say it'd either be making 10 gold here, which would involve selling a bunch of your stuff and becoming really weak, and then, like, sacking the next 2 rounds, and then the 2 rounds after that. Or alternatively, which I think would be the better idea, is to try and aggressively, like, win streak. And so, because there's already, like, 2 other duelist players, you aren't going to be able to play duelist. So what I would have done is I would have gotten rid of both of the Yasuos and then leveled. And then either you can put in just the Hecarim, or you can put in the Hecarim plus the Thresh. But I don't think the Annies here are particularly good because there's no comp that you can actually run with them. And you're not chasing Fortune right now. You usually want to have Fortune units earlier than this, because after the Fortune nerfs, the levels 1 and 2 on Fortune the wins on the first and second loss, or the 0 in first and maybe the second, are just not as good to try and abuse. But yeah, I mean, this guy looks like he beats you. He has a blue buff on Akali. And, Divines. So skip past this. Okay, so on this shop, you have almost like too many options. Here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember what you did, but like, tell me what your main options are.
I mean, I would definitely drop the Yasuo because I want to get another Chosen, so I know I'm not going to be playing Duelist. Because at this point, I'd already scouted around enough to know that I don't want to play Duelist anymore because it's too contested.
Right.
And so I think just picking up the Tahm Kench and making 10 gold here, and then putting in Hecarim, Maokai, Tahm Kench, and Annie or something best.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That was kind of, I think that might be actually exactly what I do, but I'm not 100% sure here.
Yeah. So definitely you want to be moving toward Fortune. Brawler lets you not completely tank health. The only difference I would think of is you may be able to get away with selling the Hecarim.
Yeah, I hesitated there.
Yeah, so you have, let's say you put in Annie instead. Or both your, okay, because you could greed really hard and only put in Tahm Kench and 2 Annies. But I don't think you would be able to make 20. But definitely, yeah, because right now you're in a weird spot with your economy. Like, you almost have to win this for it to be super worth, unless you sell, like, a Janna or a Hecarim, which you don't want to do. So I think that putting in, like, double Janna here would have been the best thing. Or Annie. But it's kind of hard. Like, the Annie pair here isn't super good to pick up, because, like I said, Fortune isn't as nice at this point. But, like, yeah, like you see right here, you're in a very awkward spot. If you win, then you've gone win, loss, win, which is screwing your economy. Yeah. But if I
don't win, then I have to sell a unit, which screws my economy.
And all of these units are really good for you right now, Janna's still pretty decent, but I think she's probably the least impactful right now for what you can have, because you could pick up Wukong or Garen here and have Vanguards again. The Annie pair is strong, and then again, like, the Janna is also a pair, and then the Hecarim is like where you could transition from your items. So definitely, I always make it a habit to like put in doubles of units a lot when I'm trying to lose, because it takes up less space and it means I can get rid of other stuff. But right now, I think you're greeding a little bit too much for Fortune. It's good to have Fortune early, but I think, like, by this point, if you don't have Fortune, you're not going to run it.
Right.
It's just way too late. Like by the time that like if you
I
put
think
in
I
Fortune,
think I'd honestly just grabbed it because it was a pair. Because like
yeah. But the thing is,
I
you
do
didn't.
that sometimes, but I also should have sold right there. You're right.
Right. But the thing
I
is,
should
you
have kept
also
it.
didn't grab Nami in the shop before, so you couldn't even run
Right.
mages. Like ideally, I believe it was the shop before this one. There's a Nami in the shop, so you could have grabbed the Nami for it and then have contemplated mages. I don't think you hit a mage in the next shop. No, you don't. But you get rid of your Yasuo chosen, so you could have mage chosen, by the shop after it anyway. Because I mean that it would lead into a decent Elderwood mage, at least opening to not continue to sack health, but
Yeah.
So okay, so you have a bow here. So ideally, when you have a bow, if you're not trying to completely like
I'm almost positive that I pick up it's either the sword or the rod. I don't remember exactly which one, but I think it might have been the sword.
yeah, and your economic place, sword is probably the best like for the longevity of the game. I mean, the short term is just the higher gold, but besides that, I mean, there's nothing here that you can't use because you're never gonna grab the tier.
Right.
So it would either be the rod or the sword, yeah, because the sword lets you slam Giant Slayer. This lets you go Ginsu's, which is like okay. People are playing it on Ashe. I don't personally like it.
I've played it a couple times and I like it. It's just it's okay. It's really good with Hodge because Hodge is where you get actually all your damage from.
you get a different build
But
path, and actually that's kind of iffy because Hodge only gives you damage half the time. So, just keep that in mind. But
yeah,
the other options here would be like Sunfire components, but because they're on 2 costs, you almost never go for them. My thing is, I've been like what I'm going to test out on this patch is running Ashe like old Jinx from set 3, because I have a feeling that running her with a lot more AD might just be better in
because
general.
she does get a whole bunch of free attack speed. So
yeah, so that's just that's a guess. I've ran Ashe with mostly I stack AD over attack speed. I don't think I've ever ran exclusive attack speed. I've run Ginsu's on her a couple times. I just feel like her damage is really underwhelming with Ginsu's. A lot of
well,
you
need the to me it feels like you need the combo of Ginsu's and Giant Slayer to really make it worth it.
Right.
But then I've also ran just straight Giant Slayer. I'm not a huge fan of just straight Giant Slayer either.
Yeah, no, Giant Slayer on its own isn't particularly good. It's usually paired with Hodge. Okay, so here, I mean, you could be scouting, but it's not a big deal. So you have a really good thing here. You have Vanguards, you have possibility to go into mages still. But here is where I would drop Fortune. Like completely.
I think I still agree with Annie. I think I sell Aphelios and chill here with 20.
Yeah. And actually you could actually still play. You could play the Aphelios right now. With Ashe items.
Because, and I think I put him on Yasuo instead.
Yeah, which I mean at this point you need to completely switch out of that. Again, greeting the Annies here. If you wanted to be really crazy, you could always sell up to 30 and completely end this round, but then you'll have to do a lot of buying next round, and you want to beat the Krugs. So I don't like your positioning. Okay, positioning got a little bit better, and now it's worse. Okay, now it's better.
Yeah, I was kind of like trying to think a little bit on that, on like what I should do.
Right. I still prefer Maokai in the front line if you're leaning this far to the side, because his attack speed's slow, and especially now that Duelist and Divine are really big, I think Maokai's better in the front line now, more than in the back line. Plus, like at this point, your win condition for fights is almost non-existent, so you do have Fortune here. So
yeah, and you're about to see the biggest fail ever.
Oh boy.
And I'm surprised I did as well, because I probably could have firsted this game if I didn't pull the giant fail that I do after this, and you'll watch it happen in real time.
Did you pull the classic like took out
I took out Fortune. Yeah, I didn't realize I took out Fortune because I'm pretty sure on the next shop I get an Ashe. And I saw the Ashe and fucking came in my pants and
Right. I mean,
sold
yeah,
everything.
yeah. This is. I assume you pre-level here is what I'm guessing. I would also pre-level here.
I don't know.
Well, if you see an Ashe in the next shop, then you pre-leveled.
Then okay, might not be the next shop then.
Yeah. Okay, that's a mistake. You should always pre-level there.
Yeah.
This is an okay shop though. But it's not. I mean, it's not too big of a deal for just 1 or 2 fortune rounds. I think that greeting fortune this long was bad though, because like in this instance, you could actually be winning if you sell the Katarina and put in Kindred.
Yeah. And at this point, I think I decided to go Brawler. I decided to go Brawler instead of Elderwood.
Right. Yeah, I think Brawler's probably better in this meta because
I didn't find a Lulu, so I couldn't go Elderwood from the beginning, and just, yeah.
If you pre-leveled, you have a higher chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just say avoid Fortune because this is like the second time you've done something like that.
Yeah.
You beat these, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have I forgot that Katarina does grievous wounds. Here it's always buying at the shop.
I think I only bought the Higram.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Which is good.
I
Yeah, see, so selling that Hecarim earlier was a little bit too excited.
Yeah.
So here it's always buying the Hecarim, buying the Pike.
I think I buy the I think I buy the Pike.
Well, it's always buying the Hecarim, the Nami, the Pike, and leveling. Yeah, no. You're greeting way too much here.
Yeah.
Because, like, people are starting to get very strong very quickly. I'm not saying a lot of scouting, but just to not bleed health, because, like, against this guy, you are just way too weak.
Yeah, I definitely needed to level. And then I think I leveled here, but...
Right. Like, right there, you lost 11 health.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Like...
Yeah, no, I was super weak.
Yeah, like, especially if you're running Fortune, you want to lose, but you don't want to lose that hard, because you get more off of the amount of times you lose, not the amount of health you lose. So when you're playing Fortune, you want to, like, be pretty strong. Like, playing Fortune is really hard to some extent, because you have to try and lose your fights by 1 or 2 units. And obviously, if you get strong enough, you'll just end up winning a fight randomly, and it can kind of be less good. But, yeah. But, like, you're greeding for Fortune right now, and, like I said, it's kind of too late to greed for Fortune, but...
Yeah.
You know. But, yeah, I always definitely pick up the Pike and stuff here. I almost always pick up Pike when I see him.
And then I got the Chosen Salus.
Right.
And I was trying to win here, and I'm pretty sure I took out the Fortune. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
And I put in the Kindred. There's the fail.
Right, you don't even have 4 Brawler in. Here, okay. If you want to win here, you level the 6 and put the Maokai back in.
Yeah.
But
that would have been the smart option.
I don't like the Annie here at all. Like, I get she's there, but, like, I don't like
her. Well, okay, and I think in my mind, I thought I still had Fortune in. That's the only reason I left the Annie, because I did want to switch out for the Maokai, but I left the Annie in because I thought I still had Fortune, and I was trying to cash in.
Yeah, I think you definitely need to pay more attention to that. That's definitely going to do a...
That was a huge mistake. That was the biggest mistake of the game, 100%.
Yeah, and that, I mean, in lower elos, you might be able to get away with it, but once you get to higher elo, like, stuff like that will be so unforgiving. But that's also because you greeded for Fortune and ended up losing, like... You lost 2 fights, and I think it was around 20 health.
Yeah.
You know, from Fortune. Okay, yeah, I mean, it wasn't as much as I thought. It was only, like 13. But still...
Still too much health.
Yeah. This is a really strong board, though. It could be stronger with the Maokai, but, you know... Against this guy, you should win that.
Yeah, and I think, and like, I win this fight, and I realize, and right here, if I have my mic on, you'd hear me yell "fuck" because I just realized that I fucking forgot to put in my fortune. Yep, you see me scroll over the
Yeah.
fortune.
That's something that's funny too, because when I use this program, it doesn't have my mouse lined up for some reason. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, that's funny.
Dude, you see me like move my mouse around. I was pissed, dude. I was like, "Are you fucking serious right now?"
I mean, the good news is the way that fortune works is you can put it in later and still get the stacks.
Yeah, I think
So-
I just sold out of it and was like, fuck it.
Right, like yeah, if you found like a Katarina here, you could level the 6, put her in, and you'd still get the 3 stacks on fortune or whatever. Which is, I think I told you that before.
Yeah.
So here it's always buying the Ari, by the way. Yeah, so this is, good. It's good that you didn't lose that last one. It's always buying Ari here.
And I think I don't level here because I was like, fuck, I forgot to level already. I might as well just do this.
I mean, yeah, well, okay, so if you were holding the Annie, then you would level. But because you're not holding the Annie, you don't have to level.
Yeah.
You could just slow level. Because it's not like a big deal. You've won one, so ideally you'd like to preserve your health, but like, it's not.
At this point, I was just trying to
thing.
stabilize, I think. I was just trying to get myself strong enough to not continue to bleed.
You already have an Ashe, you're stable.
Yeah.
Like, but you would buy the Ari here if you wanted Spirit in.
I think I do buy the Arya.
Yeah, well, if you buy the Ari here, you level. I also hate this positioning. So, if you position... Okay, it's actually really good that this is right here. So, we're going to... Ashe. Ashe is your green. So, you have Ashe right here.
Yeah, pocketed QSS.
Yeah, perfect. And then you have... We'll use, like,
I remember that Akali player that shit on me early on. I was kind of, like, paranoid about that player the entire time.
Well, right, but you're
so
not
I put
protected.
the Maokai there.
You're not protected at all from anybody. Because when you're on the left side, you have these 3 blue dots that you have to...
So I should have pocketed right side, not left side.
Exactly, because on the right side, you only need 2.
Okay, dude, I've never even thought about that. That's fucking...
Yeah.
Wild.
So, because you only have 5 units, then you have these 3 here. And then, so let's say Kindred here can be pink. Kindred, ideally, she's fine here. I always like to put her in, so I'll just back up. I always like to put her here or here because it gives her the most areas to jump to because there's unoccupied spaces.
Okay.
On both sides. So, like, here, she is not able to jump to these 2 hexes, which means she can only jump back or she has to jump forward or to the side. And, when the fight goes on, the enemy team is going to be advancing to all 3 of the locations that she's most likely to jump to. Basically, you have a 25% chance of it being done good if people are moving normally. So, yeah, I personally like Kindred in these 2 spots. And then, yeah, you need something in the front line. Which
I held on to that Silas T for way too long, the non-chosen one.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was thinking I might be able to get Silas 3, and you'll see that I do get 2 Silases there, and I end up selling that. I end up selling 2 Silases and the 2-star Silas because I needed gold, I think, to roll or something.
Right.
Because I was like, Silas 3 doesn't win me the match, so I sold them all at some point, I think. I'm like slowly starting to remember.
It's not awful for you right now because you have over golden economy, but...
Right.
Yeah, so basically I'll just... Let's see, we'll do this. So, in essence, the easiest way I can put it is with 5 units, these are your 2 setups. So, okay, well actually, this is, the right side is what you'll do if you have 5 units. The left side is what you'll do if you have 6. I can actually change that to bigger and...
I feel like I always position to the left, so I'm going to start trying out the right side more definitely now that I realize.
It's a very, very common thing. So yeah, this is going to be if you have 5 units, and this is going to be if you have 6. Because, like you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on this side, you have this, this extra unit right here that you can use. So that's why you would level to 6 very early in this comp, because it allows you to protect Ashe. And the thing is, a lot of people will lean left side default because it's easier and quicker.
Yeah.
Because you always got to think, like, if you are if you're operating in this side of the screen and in this side of the screen, because you can click through these with your mouse.
Right.
Like you're one in I think it's 1 and 2 or 1 and 3. You almost always do this. So this side of the screen is almost always out of the play because it's a whole lot quicker to just go right here instead of going all the way over here, or until you have units on your bench.
And you'll see here that because like you've definitely like commented on my positioning a lot before because it's garbage, but you'll see me like I do like the only reason I clenched, I think I clenched a second out of this, but you'll see me like I mess my positioning a whole lot in this game to try and like clinch that win.
Yeah, the end game is huge for position.
I get really really close too.
Right, but yeah, I think my biggest problem is I haven't seen it much this game. But like the big thing is when you position or when you put units in, you always want to put them. Like if you have an Ashe, you almost always want to be like, okay, well I have an Ashe. Immediately like bought from the shop. Let's say she ends up here. Immediately put her onto this hex. That's it.
Yeah.
I think you might have put her somewhere else. And then moved her. Like I think maybe it was somewhere in this area. I'm not entirely sure.
I think I traded her out for a unit or something, and then
yeah, which is fine. But like I think you clicked put her in. Like I could be wrong. I can go back and look at it. But basically, what I think happened was you swapped it in for a unit, maybe in this hex, and then sold the unit, and then put the items on.
Which is 3 actions, and my APM is like 10 APM.
Yeah. So in essence, what you could do instead of these 3, and actually I probably should have just kept these. Instead of this, you could do this. You would buy the Ashe, and then you'd grab her, and immediately without like picking up your mouse, you would, and I'm just going to do a circle here, drag her to this position. So instead of click, move, click, move, click, or click, move, you just do that, and then you can proceed to go and sell your items, and then you don't have to immediately slam them. You can fix your positioning, because you should always put items like near the end of the round, because you could put items like during the round anyway. You can't change positioning. So that's all I have to say about that. But yeah. So here again, right side, because you are completely not protected here. And I think that having Silas behind Tom Kenshire might not be as good.
So I don't grab the Aria.
Yeah, I always grab the Aria here. And okay, so you see this? The Akali?
Yeah, right on my Ashe.
yeah. Akali literally jumped into, the
pocket, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't like that positioning, because you are protected maybe over here. I think your Maokai was in one of these hexes.
Yeah.
But, like, and actually, I think your Maokai was.
It's nice that I don't remember this replay entirely, because, like,
right.
it shows me that, like, I remember, like, enough of it to where it's relevant, but, like...
And the other thing, too, is, like, you completely, like, fuck your positioning, because you move, like, Silas out of the pocket. General, which, I mean, it's still, like, the Akali could still,
jump right there.
Right.
Like,
well,
right
okay.
between the silos.
Yeah, so, like, let's see. So, right here, so you move him out of the way completely. So, because Shades are faster, Shades would always get stuck on your Silas. But because Assassins jump slower, it's possible that... Okay, so, yeah, Silas moved about a hex anyway, before Akali even popped up. So, it could have been possible that Silas even walked, but if there was another unit there, it wouldn't have been able to do that. And if it did, Silas would have turned around on Akali. But if there's nothing there, then he's not going to have that interaction. He's just going to literally walk forward and then, fight these two. And, I think Silas is still better in the front line, but the best defense against Assassins anyway is positioning on the other side.
Right. Yeah, if I did it today, Akali would have been totally useless.
Yep.
It would have gone on my Kindred, and Kindred would just run away.
Right. Kindred would have... Kindred might have gotten, a lot of damage done, but then she would have probably jumped and maybe even dodged one of Akali's ultimates. And then, Ashe would have definitely killed this Yasuo. And then your Ashe on this side would have, obviously the first targeting
Switched
there.
to the Akali, yeah.
And then would have melted Akali. Because your Ashe has pretty good items right now. And the Hunter buff. So, yeah, there's that. So, we'll just play it. So, I assume your Ashe gets absolutely destroyed. Might kill a unit out of this.
Close.
If you kill Jax here, it's not the worst thing. Actually, you're doing pretty decent.
I don't win this, but I lose it a lot less hard than I was thinking I was going to.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's pretty bad to lose because
I just won.
And that's not one that you should have lost anyway, but so here for items, I think it's always grabbing the Jhin. It's either, yeah, I think it's always the Jhin. I really don't like that.
I don't know why I went for that. I think I was thinking Hodge for some reason.
I don't like that. Yeah, no, it would be the attack speed, or it would be...
The Jhin is 100% better there, but I think I tunneled on tier 4 cost.
Yeah, so we'll just go back to this and assess, first off, we have no items, right?
No, well, I have
we have this.
Vest.
Vest, okay. So I forgot about Vest. So that actually opens up a lot more possibilities. I thought we had no items. So there's no sword. No sword, right? So GA is off the table. So our options here, we'll go through all the options here. So for green options, we have Jhin, Irelia, and that's it. Okay.
And see, I'm pretty sure I thought about the Irelia there too, and I was like, man, that could be good. But I think I went for the 4 cost because I'm losing health still, and I need gold to level up.
Yeah, we'll go. Through, we'll go through these next ones. So medium picks. Medium picks are Teemo, Evelyn, and then Akali, or not Akali. This one's Nidalee.
Yeah,
and arguably,
I would never grab the Nidalee because 1 cost.
Right. Well, I mean, it's Bramble Vest, and that's why it's like it's not particularly good, but it's not like game loss. It's the last pick you'd pick out of any of these. And then you have this, which I'm putting as an orange, which is like, I don't know how strong Locket is, but in Brawler Ashe, I could see Locket being good. So that's like, if Locket's good, then this is definitely either yellow or green. But right now I'm putting it as orange because I don't know. And red is every other one. Because if you have to go -2 for a Locket, it's already not worth it. And tiers, I have no idea. These are just not... I don't like them. The 4 gold is great, but you have a green option here.
Right.
This will allow you to go like either RFC, a second Giant Slayer. I mean, you could go not QSS, Rage Blade. You could even go Titans. This has a lot more options for you.
Yeah, more potential.
Yeah, and I mean, you can make a case that even the Lux here isn't too bad, but Frozen Heart, I think, is just a bad use of a chain vest. Ideally here you would have gotten a sword, but there's no swords, so it happens. It happens more on the 3rd carousel, or on stage 3 carousel than any other ones, so it's whatever. But yeah, so I think that you ended up picking one of the worst options, because I think everything else has either an immediate effect or a like not an immediate negative, which I think these are the immediate negatives. Like, as I'm looking at this, I think probably the Irelia or the Jhin. I think the Irelia looks really good because Sunfire Cape is still pretty decent. But
I think the reason I didn't go for Sunfire here is that it's getting like later in the rounds. I know Sunfire Cape isn't as good later on.
Yeah, but I mean, you still have a level 1 Ashe until you have like all level 2s and you're like level 7. It's good. It's not as good. But I mean, like right now, people aren't gonna get level 8 for like a full stage and a half. So it'll be good to save health for a while, and it'll help you snowball. So you end up grabbing this. Plus, it's good to deny Jhin players.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that more because the more I've been playing, Sharpshooter is disgusting.
Yeah, and Riven isn't strong anymore. So
Like the Jin changes where they changed his 4-shot thing or whatever from 4-4-4-4 or whatever to 1-2-3-4 in the patch notes. It's still as disgusting. His 4-shot still one-shots the entire team with 4-6 sharpshooter.
I haven't seen much of that. I just know that it's probably like I think sharpshooters is just good against Divine. That might be why it's doing that. But it's also sharpshooters are also good because you can run Locket in it.
Yeah.
So options. So out of this shop, I mean, there's another Ari. I think grabbing Warwick is good here.
And
there's one other thing I hope you do here. And I don't know if you're going to do it. And I hope that you get rid of this fucking Tom Kench and put in Lulu.
I don't think I do. I think I keep the...
Yeah, that's awful. That is awful. You deserve to lose this round, regardless of whoever it is. Like,
yeah.
you deserve to tank, like, at least 8 to 12 health here just for that mistake. You would have... Yeah. You gain no buff from the other Elderwood, or the other Brawler. So you're basically getting a slightly beefy Tom Kench over, like, your Ashe getting stronger, one of your Brawlers also getting stronger.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know if you lose this round, but for that mistake, I think you deserve to lose it. So...
I think here's when I say, okay, I don't care about Elderwood, and I start going for the... I keep leveling her. I don't think I'd hardly buy anything. I think I just keep leveling and leveling and leveling.
I mean, which is a good
movement. See, okay. And I see two Silas here.
Yeah, so you can chase this. That's fine.
Yeah.
You just aren't gonna roll for it.
Oh,
what?
Wait, what the? I don't remember that part.
you definitely deserve to lose this next one too for that.
Yeah, like, I change out the Tom Kench for the Nunu. I'm almost positive I at least do that part here.
You don't change out the Kindred?
Well, 3 Hunter.
Yeah, right.
But I don't think
Brawler.
that I do. Maybe
Hunter's
I don't
good,
know. I don't know what I do.
But like you need to keep your Ashe alive. But yeah, losing that Silas. I mean, if you don't go for that Silas, then you just don't. And also, you rolled here, which is bad. Yeah, you rolled and you leveled.
What do I do? I don't put in the Nunu.
You don't put in the Nunu. So you, for a second turn, don't put in Elderwood.
Yeah.
And at this point, you don't even lose anything. You don't lose another Brawler for it.
Right.
You have a net plus. This, you deserve to lose, again, like another 8 health. You didn't lose that many last round, I don't think.
I think I actually win this one.
Which is very undeserved. Like, making mistakes like that is not acceptable.
Yeah.
Like, it's just too much. Like, in here, I mean, at this point, I think you just need to, like, pay attention to, like, the game state a little bit more. Like, one thing that you'll see people, like, both you and your opponent are doing a really bad job of this, is your organization. So, he has a Yasuo here, a Yasuo here, you have a Silas here, a Silas here. And then he has
I don't know why
a different unit, and then there's a different unit, a different unit, and then there's a different unit and a different unit.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way you can actually see what's going on here. Alternatively, you can move everything to one side, and you could literally have it looking more like this.
Right.
Now, I mean, just in terms of information digestion... Okay. In terms of information digestion, like, this is way harder to understand than this.
Yeah.
And the only difference is 2 units are close, like, touching each other. Alternatively, if you want to go really crazy, you can go with like, you could have your 2 units, and then you can have a space in between your other units. And then this makes it infinitely easier to even do that. That's just organizational skills, but yeah, I think this could have, if you say that you get a second out of this game, you could have easily gotten a first.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was a second or.
And then there would be your Silas 3, by the way.
Yeah, I know. And I buy the Silas here, which I don't know why I didn't buy the first one.
Yeah, I don't know either. So at this point, 6 Brawler needs to go in.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 7 Brawlers at this point, so. You're considering your items, that's good, but what you're not doing here is scouting.
Yeah, my scouting definitely needs. I've been trying to work on that a lot more. I scout really hard early because it's like the game's slower, I think, and I can figure out what I'm doing.
It's easier to scout early.
Yeah, and then I don't do it late for some reason.
All right, so you actually have a really, really good setup here. So, what are you thinking about your possibilities to do right here?
Well, I think I grabbed the Malkai, and I think I level and put in the six Brawler.
Okay, so we're gonna watch
and
that.
Elderwood.
Now, how about your items?
I blue buff the Kindred. I know that for a fact.
I still hate your positioning.
Yeah.
So you can blue buff Ludens, the Kindred, and Bramble Vest, the Tom Kench, or the Warwick. Now your positioning's better. I don't like your Nunu positioning. I don't like your Kindred positioning.
Yeah. And I almost want to say that I sell for eco here. I don't know.
I mean, at this point, you're not using your items either.
And I Bramble Vest Tom Kench when it's too late.
Yeah. And I mean, alternatively, you can make, like, double Frozen Heart, but... I mean, like, double Frozen Heart and then going for Sunfire might be an option, but, And then losing Eco here just sucks. I mean, that's just because you haven't picked up the Silas, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you start rolling. I feel like you only rolled, like 50 gold here anyway.
Yeah, I don't roll very far.
Yeah, no. Which you have to. And you can see... So, for this, we're going to go all the way back here. And you'll see why. So, this hits... And now we're just going to take a second to see where the power spikes hit. So, you level... Well, okay, you get a 2-star Maokai. You go to 7... And then you put in this. So that's your power spike.
I had to think for a
now,
sec.
If you're watching the side, one person has got a level 3 Yasuo right now, who's the top guy, and 2 other people went to level 7. Now, one person got a level 2 Aurelia, which means that there are people rolling right now.
Right.
Now, there's only 6 seconds left, so there might only be one more thing that pops up, but probably not. Okay, someone found a Lux, and another person went to 7 and put a unit in. So, this is one of the guys who went to 7. I don't know if you beat him or not.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you do. Okay. So then, this happens. This same thing. So you pick up a Nunu, you roll once, and then you stop. You also don't pick up the Lulu. One person gets a level 2 Kindred. One person, the same person, goes to level 7. So people are still actively getting stronger. Someone gets a level 2 Ari. Level 2 Yumi. Another level 2 Yumi. Level 2 Jinx.
I think
level
I put
2 Annie.
I think I put the rod on.
I hope you can put Ludens on Kindred right now.
Yeah, I've never really built Ludens. I don't think I actually built Ludens.
Probably not. I don't think you put any of the items on Kindred. But just off the strength of the comp, you're still doing decently. But like, you're going against moderately weak people right now. Like, you haven't gone against the top guy or the second top guy.
Yeah.
So, this won't really benefit you. There's a lot of stuff in your stuff here, and you're still not rolling. One of the people are, picked up that thing, so people are still hitting and still rolling.
I think in my mind I was thinking I'd go 8 here and then roll for Ashe.
You would never go 8 here. There's
Well,
no
not here,
reason to
but
go
I
8
think
here.
I slow level to 8, try and get 8 as quick as possible, and then start rolling for Ashe.
So the 3 timings for going 8 in this set are usually like
5-1 and
right, yeah, like 5 1 5 1. So 4 5 is if you're like trying to fast level. That's fast 8. 5 1, which is the round after this one, is standard. Just like going 7 going 7 is standard on 4 1. 8 is standard on 5 1, and if you're high rolling, 6 1 is standard for 9. So that, but a lot of people will wait until this round. Well, not that round. This round to wait because it's a clean level, which is how a lot of people will start to fall behind. But you never ever go it on here as like just a general rule of thumb. And I know that's probably not what you meant, but just to remember, you never go here. You can still go it here though.
Next round.
Yeah. Right now, you don't really have a reason because one, you don't have anything to put it. Like, okay, if you hit a Lee Sin right now, you would probably go, or a set. A set you would go, 8
immediately. Drop and go 8 Brawler.
Exactly, 100%. So that would be like a situation where you could do that, and then that would let you win streak for probably 5 rounds, unless you want to get the top guy. Because I haven't seen Sport, So that is what it is. You're still not roll like you want to stabilize. Basically you want to roll down to maybe like 40 gold. Because if you roll down to like 40 or 30 and find Ashe 2, Ashe 2 makes it possible to win streak the rest of these rounds. And if you win 2 of them, if you win 2 of those rounds, you make up the eco that you've lost. Because you go from 50, so you're 5. Minus 2 to 3. But if you go 50 down to 30, and then, so, you have that. And then you, like, gain 1 off your win, then, you're in you're not actually far off. And you're winning instead of losing health. Like, the way that you maintain this 50, you're losing health for. I think my equation might not be expressed as well as I want it to. But basically, you maintain 50, but it's not always good to maintain economy. Right. If you go down to 30 gold and get an Ashe 2 and, like, possibly a set, you can win streak. And then it lets you have the options of, going to 8 and all that. But yeah, if you don't find Silas, then this is just a really big economy bait anyway. So you end up winning this, which is fine. Some people are not strong. Your last 2 or 3 people have been pretty weak. I don't know, it looked like the video was loading for a sec.
I want to say that I grabbed a Kindred here. Or I grabbed a set. It might be the set. I think it is the set, actually.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, all your items are pretty bad.
So I have another blue buff.
Right. Which isn't awful.
Yeah.
Especially if you end up hitting Lee Sin at some point. Like you're level 9 or whatever. Lee Sin's pretty good with blue buff. So yeah, here because you have set, you always level to 8 and put in all the things. So let's see if you do that.
No, but I traded out the Tom Kench, which is bad.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I even sell the Tom Kench here.
You don't slam blue buff either. You don't slam anything.
Yeah.
So even though like you were able to hit that, you're not benefiting as much as you could be. Because like, okay, if you spend the gold now, you can
I don't
like,
have to worry about if I lose back. Like,
right, like if you spend the gold, like, okay, you get your 50 gold or whatever. You get your 50 down to like, what is this? 24, and then you have 54. And then you would go down. So you'd go down 2 econ. So you go down to 30. And then you win one. And then your next round, you're going to be at full econ. So you're going to be, well, you'll be 4+1. But then you don't have to worry about that later. Like, because right now, this extra 4 gold isn't being used anyway.
I think I might dump it into a level here or something.
Right. But same thing.
Yeah.
You know, right now it's not doing anything, but like that 4 gold could be used right here and here.
Right.
Like right now it's not doing anything, but if you use it like out of your interest, it has, you know, it can be somewhere else. And like thinking of economy in that sense is very abstract, because a lot of times what we learn is get to 50 and stay at 50, but you just have to like kind of break the habits that people in the TFT community have like just perpetuated. Plus, you can always sell this fucking Tom Kench, which I think selling Tom Kench,
I do.
selling Tom, well, you sell it once you find another one, because if you have to look for a Tom Kench at level 8 or 9,
You're fucked.
yeah, it's just not gonna be fun. So you can hold it until then. But I think you needed to slam any item. And then yeah, you can hit your levels here.
I'm pretty sure I sell Tom Kench here and throw the Bramble Vest on this set.
Which is extremely greedy.
Yeah.
If anything, you'd go like you would just go 8 here. Also, I would go 8 here actually all the time. Preserve win streak. Because you still have 8 brawlers. Worst case scenario, you abandon set now. Because once you go 8, it's extremely hard to find. Or not set. You abandon Silas. Yeah, because you probably end up losing this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you ended up losing like 5 gold.
Yeah.
5 gold instead of using 1 gold. So you are down 4 gold from this, and down 8 technically, because you would have had 10 off the other thing.
Right.
So you're down way more gold. You have to not let yourself get trapped into these things. I assume you level here. Okay.
Yeah, level here.
And then you put them in. Cool. And then I assume you put this over this and put blue buff on this.
Nope. I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
I don't think I actually ended up going for the 8 Brawler like right away. I don't know if I even went 8 Brawler this game. I don't remember 100%.
It's crazy. I don't hate the items.
Yep, skip Tom Kench.
Oh my god, dude. You did not deserve a second. If you got a second out of this game, you didn't deserve it. You so didn't deserve it.
No, I skipped the Silos and the Tom Kench, which
I guarantee you, I hope you fix these issues, because if you fix these issues, you'll get to Diamond in 2 days. I guarantee it.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can fix these, because it's a lot of little issues. So it's a lot, okay, it's easier to tackle a big issue. Like if someone doesn't know how to economy, you just say, get to 50 gold, never go under 30 gold, and then, that issue can jump things. But once you get to the higher ranks, it's a whole lot harder to work on these tiny little things. Like, oh, Silas was 1 hex off, so that means my Ashe dies and I lose the fight. Or but that is another mistake, or you missed a Silas. So now you don't have Silas 3. This is a good example of, you see the problem there. But, if you fix all these issues, yeah, I guarantee it, if you played...
It's way easier to see it when I'm watching it back after taking... I slept on this game, so I don't remember it clearly. Yeah, it's way easier, because I see it now, and I'm like, wait, why the fuck what am I doing? Yeah,
yeah, and I mean, it's always easier to review a game, but You just have to kind of be able to like kind of switch processes. Like there's like with TFT, it's a whole lot of switching your brain to certain functions at a certain time and just optimizing those functions. The best thing that I can equate it to is like I don't know.
Well,
It's hard to think about.
the progression this set has been a lot harder because like last set was when like I really like first started like actually playing.
Well, it's also getting used to
So
new things, and I mean, this set is a whole lot harder to. I think this set is actually harder to differentiate the units, right? Because in last set, like everything was like color coded. In this set, it's a little bit not. Like I mean, cultists are like dark and stuff, but this Zed looks like an elder.
looks like Elderwood, yeah.
Yeah. So stuff like that. Or like, you know, the Irelia looks like kind of like, you know, the Divine and stuff, but then Spirit looks like it should also be like an Enlightened and stuff. So I think that this set's a little bit harder than that. I mean, Chrono, all the units were white. Rebel, all the units were orange. Darkstar, all the units were like black and purple. So it's just that you have to like be paying attention to it. And I mean, rerolling is a skill. Like there's players who are just not good at rerolling, and it's because they just can't process information. Kiyun is legendary for being able to roll 50 gold in a turn and position and scout.
That's nuts.
Yeah, but he just knows how to reroll. Like his brain can move like that. Mine doesn't entirely move like that. You know, I use up way too much time rerolling, but I have accurate rerolls. So
My brain is slow.
Right. And that might mean that like for you, I think that if you can't roll as effectively, you almost should never stay at 50 gold unless you're intending on leveling, because you should like as I shown. So this is 2252. Okay, so like as we saw like in these instances, like you know 4-1 and everything. You should always level at 4-1 because it'll bring you down to less gold, and then you roll down to like 30 so that when you start rolling, you don't ever have to, you know, because if you have 50 gold and you can only use 20 every turn because that's what your roll max is, which is what I call the amount of gold that you can roll in a turn accurately, then you're going to die with 30 gold eventually by the end of the game.
Actually, you know what's crazy? It actually makes me really happy that I kind of fucked up the whole fortune thing here earlier too, because I think that would have compensated a lot of the issues. Like it would have made a lot of these smaller issues that I'm making less punishing. I think because I would have had the gold to make up for it too.
I mean, yeah, but you know, going fortune there and then not cashing out was a mistake in itself, which needs to be, you know, either addressed or rectified. I mean, there's some players who don't know how to play fortune.
We don't stand fortune.
Right. But, you know, so just generally like stuff like that. But yeah, so I think that for you, if you can't roll like down 20 gold and like act like good over 50 and then you start to lose a lot of health, I think that it's actually better for you to go under eco if it means that you can make a bigger effect in the game. Because I mean, in this game, like the top guy is kind of wiping the lobby, but if you can like get a constant win streak and constantly like just like apply pressure to the whole lobby, it's really good. Plus, I mean, like getting Ashe here, the Nunu, I mean, you hit a set, you could have aggressively leveled into that. You know, you would have dipped under 50 plenty of times, but you would have maintained this 55 health the entire time.
Yeah.
But I think that, yeah, I mean, if you can fix those issues, Diamond is cake. But yeah, missing the Tom Kench, Fatal Error, that's stuff that you just will not be able to get away with.
Yeah.
And then there's a Kane there. I don't think Kane's good right now.
No, I stopped buying canes.
I think that he's bugged again.
I stopped buying canes if I don't have any items to put on him because I think he's bad as a standalone unit.
He isn't, but I think he is right now because he's bugged.
And I don't grab the. I should have sold the Silas here and grabbed the Lee Sin.
You should have sold the Kindred and grabbed the Lee Sin and put him in with the blue buff.
That would have been better. You're right.
Absolutely. And then I don't like that you pick up the Snoo, or I assume that you pick him up. You're hovering it. But yeah, right now, like, because you're not, like, what I would do is I'd pick up the Lee Sin here, I would have already had 8 Brawlers in, and Lee Sin becomes your level 9 unit. You don't run Kindred this game at that point. Like...
Yeah, I have a 1-star Kindred at 5-1. I'm trolling.
Right. And you could have 8 Brawlers, which you would have a Legendary with 8 Brawlers who has items, and then you could have another Legendary in. And I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but Divine's strong right now, and you have a Warwick and a Lee Sin, which gives you Divine. So... Yeah, you have a lot of stuff here to work with. And then obviously the big misplay with this Tahm Kench, because I mean you would have a very, very strong board, and you don't pick up the Lee Sin or the Nunu. I like that you don't pick up the Nunu, but it hurts to see that Lee Sin go.
Yeah.
And then
I'm still rolling.
Yeah, you continue to roll there. And because you didn't pick up the Lee Sin before, I assume you're not going to pick up this Lee Sin.
I don't think so.
At this point, yeah, it would be... Yeah, okay. And then I hope you pick up this Warwick.
Yeah, I think I saw the Silas's here and grab Warwick.
Yeah.
And then I roll down to 30
again. Okay. And then, yeah. Okay,
that 2 gold roll, I do it all the time. I need to stop doing it, because I always know it's, like, not worth it, because, like, what am I going to buy?
Right, yeah, you rolled down, like right here, if you had this shop... There, you couldn't buy anything, because if you do it, you have to roll down even more, right?
Yeah,
it's a constant slope. You go, because I mean you did it over here. You had, you had 45 gold, and now you're like, okay, well now I need to roll more, because that's a fine thing to do. But once you do this roll, you pick up something that is worth more. Or I mean, right here, it is possible to pick up more. If you don't ever pick up this Lee Sin, if you roll again, you have 1 gold.
See, and if I picked up this Lee Sin and then rolled again here and then rolled 1 more to get the full like 30 effect or whatever, I would have got the Ashe anyways plus Lee Sin.
Right.
Well, maybe, but that's how
I mean, yeah, in theory, yeah. And then you also don't pick up the Ezreal, which I mean, you're not playing Elderwood anyway, I guess, right? So
yeah.
But the other thing is, if you would have picked up the Nunu, you would have stopped rolling.
Yeah.
So that's that, but that starts to happen, and then yeah. So we're just gonna compare something real quick. You have, ideally, the point where you should have stopped rolling is here. After you pick up the Vi. Unless you're trying to, unless you want to continue to roll down. But I also don't like that you're not picking up Azir. But I also don't like that you don't have a Brawler in. So you have a lot of options here.
Yeah.
I personally like playing Azir.
A Brawler would have been so much better than Hunter. I don't know why I was so stuck on this fucking Kindred.
Yeah. And then you roll here. So you could stop rolling right here.
Yeah, and then win next and get my eco back.
Right. So right here you have, if you win, which I guess we'll see if you win or not. So you end up losing. So basically you have 49 gold with 1 Silas off of level 2 and then this. Instead, you end the round with 30 gold, no Silases, and I think you're up 1 Warwick and up 1 Ashe. The Warwick and Ashe are great, but But the Silases should have been abandoned a while ago, so you could have actually had 50 gold. Because now you're level 8, and it's outside of the hot spot for actually hitting Silas. And then, yeah, we don't win this. So, yeah, now you're at 39, which I can tell you're itching to roll. And you can. But you should also sell this Kindred. And if you do roll here, if you roll at any point past this point, now you're trolling. But do you see something else in the shop? Do you see what I see?
I see a Tahm Kench.
There is a Tahm Kench.
Fuck.
That you don't pick up. At this point, you should have bottom forward. At this point, you should have bottom forward this game. You should have lost LP for this game.
Yeah.
But, And then, okay, we can talk about this too. I don't like your positioning either. Because... So...
Yeah, because Silas walks straight forward before Tahm Kench, I think.
Well, I mean, it's yeah. So basically, you have this thing going on here. So yeah, Silas is gonna walk forward, which is like whatever. So improvements here could be Silas over here, to this area, so that he'll, walk forward. Tom Kench, I mean,
he's awkward.
He's okay
Tom
to be
Kench
there, I guess, but
Tom Kench is awkward for me to position when I'm trying to solo frontline the set.
Right. But the thing is, it's a set one with a belt as defense, so you can always put, you can put Tom Kench, who I'll put in orange, in the front line. Yeah, like right next to each other. Alternatively, you can put Tom Kench over here, so that if anybody has things here, they're gonna run into it, and it's gonna stop it. Like if there's a fucking Vigor or something over here, it's gonna hit the Tom Kench. Now that might slow your set, but you have a blue buff on Set, so Set can actually ult before he has to go and do his fucking sit-ups.
Okay.
So you have dedicated 2 items to this set. Like, for the love of God, please make him use it. Because you gave him a Morello, and Morello's okay on Set. But you want him to use it before he has to go do his sit-ups, because after he has his, does his sit-ups, he's already going to be doing true damage. So the true damage off Morello isn't as, impactful in comparison. It's still pretty fucking good, because it's still true damage. But, let him use it first. It's not like he is, like, completely useless. It's not like a level 1 set 0 items with 4 Brawler, where you want him to get killed before he ults so he can come back with full mana. So you can put Tom Kench here. You can move Silas to here. Personally, I always have Nunu in the second row, because he does a shit ton of damage, and as long as he doesn't take aggro. Maokai's okay here. I think Maokai's fine. Warwick's also fine here. But, I mean, Silas there, Tom Kench here. Or alternatively, if you wanted Tom Kench to just be fodder, put him back here.
So if I was to sell the Kindred here, right, and put in the Vi, which I should have done, where would I put Vi at?
Vi would probably go here.
Where Silas is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I'm trying to think of how I can, like, illustrate it better. It's just like a... Yeah, it'll be Vi here over Silas. It'll be Silas here. And then, you can put Nunu still in the same spot if you have the Vi in. But if not, I'd actually end up putting Nunu here if you have Vi in.
Okay, so switch the Nunu and the Warwick.
Yeah, because
because the main thing I was trying to focus on getting Warwick to not eat shit.
Yeah,
like immediately.
As long as he's not in the front row, and then Tom Kench will be there. So basically, the idea behind something like this would be, Tom Kench gets fucked. Silas has the possibility, and actually Tom Kench would be over here. Or Tom Kench. Actually, I don't like Tom Kench over there at all. Now that I'm looking at this, I like him over there.
Yeah, Tom Kench over there.
Because Silas needs room to walk up. Because
I definitely am. I'm really bad about clumping my units. Like in most comps I play, I clump really hard.
Yeah. I don't spread out. Yeah, and it's different. It's different.
I think it's because I built the fucking memory from spamming Rebel.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, you always like Silas to be on these angles because he hits, and it's the same thing with Vi. But the difference is Vi, when she hits, it's in a cone.
Right.
So you can hit those, and because Ashe is back here, Ashe can hammer away, because Ashe is on the same side as Vi here. So yeah. Nunu, Warwick, actually, I think either of these are interchangeable, but, because Nunu can either run around here or here. It's all on... Actually, I don't know if it's a Warwick too. I like him on the left side. You want your stronger unit on the left side. So actually, yeah, Nunu's actually fine there in that scenario. Because yeah, Warwick's kind of just a sack unit right now. He's not really doing anything for the team, but so
another Brawler.
The positioning, could just be improved, and then you have another fight, and then so you're at 49 gold. I don't know if you roll. You spent a lot of time, and then you actually reposition. So we can follow the same principles with the repositioning. So again, Tom Kench is kind of like the one that sticks out of place the most. I think switching Nunu and Warwick here, just because like at that point you want to have strong things next to you, and Nunu's fine to run around either side, but I don't think Warwick is very safe here.
Yeah.
Silas and Maokai are still good in the back. So I like this positioning a whole lot more. I still don't like it that you have 7 brawlers in.
Yeah, that was
And
definitely
then the Kindred adjustment is good, but you know, it's still a Kindred. And then
it actually worked out really well there because the Zeds started attacking my Kindred.
Yeah, so like this is a prime reason as to why we like Kindred.
Wait, he has double RSC. What the?
Don't question it. So that's prime reason as to why we like Kindred in this position. You know, this is a weird situation where jumping into the enemy team is actually better, but you know. So yeah. And fun fact, the reason why we build Ludens on Kindred way back in that other example is because she's doing more damage than Set right now. So,
yeah.
Kindred could have been used earlier, but you know. This is fucking hilarious.
I think Someone
pissed themselves when they saw that because this.
Yeah, is but I think I grabbed the Cassiopeia shoe instead. I'm almost positive I grabbed Cassiopeia shoe because I didn't want the Warwick to combine because I hadn't paid much attention to like the whole divine thing yet.
I mean, like, I would never ever even go for that. Personally, it would either be like we can go back. And yeah, like we'll assume that we'll assume this Warwick never exists, right? Because the divine thing, you know, is
I just saw it this morning from Soji when he played 6 Divine.
We'll just assume that this doesn't exist, right? Even though I think that it'd be fine to grab before the divine stuff even came out. I think I would consider it like orange, you know, orange in the little circle thing that I use. So
right.
You know, we'll consider this an orange, just like the Cassiopeia and the other one. So, for green, we'll work backwards. We'll go for the reds first. So for red, Azir.
I don't need another blue buff.
And probably Jinx. And probably. I'm
not a fan of Zeke's either, because...
Well, okay, I'll guess that. Okay, I didn't even see this. Okay, and then that. So these are your 3. Worst. And then for medium, definitely this Zeke's, definitely this, and then this. And honestly, this is even debatable because your 2 green options are this Zeke's and this Last Whisper. And arguably, this Zeke's also. I would never take it here if this Zeke's is up. But Zinx gives you 40% attack speed.
Yeah.
It is a lot. I think it's 40%. It's like the equivalent of 2 bows.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
Yeah.
I just don't play with it enough, so that's why I didn't grab it.
And you can always put it on Warwick too. But I think yeah. I think that, and like I said, you know, this is either orange or yellow. So I would consider that yellow. So out of these 3 options, you ended up picking this one, which is like, you know, this is only barely yellow. I'll add that. Because it's only barely yellow because you have the chance to grab all 3 of the green options.
Right.
So at that point, in that situation, it's bad. It's bad to grab because you have options for all the other ones. You have 5 cost Zeke's that you could put on like Warwick. And then you could, you know, stick a...
Every time I look over and see that 7 Brawler, it triggers me still.
Mm-hmm. You just need to like look at it and pay a little bit more attention to it, and you can benefit more. And then I don't like that. I don't personally like that. And then you're rolling here still.
What do I do?
Like you're still rolling. Like what are you looking for right now?
Ashe, I think. Oh. I I got
It's
hella
just like
stuck on that
it's just like moment of truth here. Like you pass up another Lee Sin. Like your win kit. Like what do you need to win right now?
I
Because
didn't know what I needed to win.
unless you lose horrifically, you survive these next 2 rounds. So I would be funneling money into level 9. Then you can put in your level 2 Vi giving you 8 Brawler. You could put in Kayn plus Lee Sin, like instead of 6, 6 Brawler or whatever. Or you could put in like Aphelios, if you really wanted to, for Hunter, or Lee Sin. I think that any of those options are better than what you have right now.
Yeah.
And then, you don't have money to do stuff. Because, you wasted a lot of money on rolls.
Yeah.
You'd have probably 2 or 3 hits on the XP, and then, So you lose this one. You end up rolling a little bit. I think you hit Warwick, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Which doesn't really end up doing anything.
Right. See, so you don't die here.
And then here I I do this round, and I want to say that I forced 9 here and then roll the rest of my gold.
Right, which is what you should have done like 2 turns ago. And you go down to 6 Brawlers here. So you ended up selling your Vi's too. Yeah, I really don't like this.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, because I
don't think I even registered. I don't think I even registered that I had
7 instead of 8.
Yeah.
And this is the other reason too. You have a GA, and the only person GA would have been good on is Ashe.
Yeah.
So, like, when you still have a PvE round, I never risk going suboptimal Ashe items. I don't think it works. But you get GA, and, like, right now you have nothing to put GA on.
I think I put on the Ari.
I believe you.
Which, yeah, isn't fantastic.
Right. And it looks like you...
And I definitely miss a couple Aries, too, which is gross.
Right. So yeah, this is an instance of, like, and you end up selling your set too, which is, I don't think you ever blue buff Ari either. I would blue buff Silas over anything else. You don't even go to 9. You just roll down at 8.
Yeah.
And which sucks because you've invested like 16 gold or something into it, so. You're generally powerful. How do you end up winning this game? Is it just like you're naturally stronger, or do you end up hitting something? Yeah, you just hit your level 2s. Yeah, the comp lets you, do that, but I don't think this is something that you probably shouldn't have won. Especially because I'm pretty sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's something that you shouldn't have won, but you get away with it now. But fuck, this guy gets fucking destroyed anyway. Okay, so you actually take 3rd here.
Yeah, okay.
No, you get 4th. Okay, so this makes me a lot happier. This makes me a lot happier about the game because you get a 4th. If you got a 2nd out of this, I would be much, much more upset. But with a 4th, like, this could have 100% been a 1st.
Yeah,
so I guess
if I put an 8 Brawler.
Well, there's a lot of things. Even from the beginning, The Yasuo was good. I really like your opening to this game was wonderful. I really like the Yasuo pickup. I wish you would have picked up the Vaynes, or like either picking up the Vayne or picking up the Thresh, just because it lets you have better options. Like you're not stuck on this Yasuo.
Right.
Because once you get stuck on this Yasuo, I think that's when you start to have problems because you've limited yourself so much. Like you even have Keeper in here. So you can play Keeper also, but like you've held on to this Yasuo and you're like, I'm playing Duelist, which is a problem. Like you had the game with the Vanguards. It's the same thing. You've just locked down anything that you are like not trying to play.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember if you sell your Yasuo after.
I think I sell it.
Like right after losing this. I think you do too. Yeah, you do. Okay, which is something we talked about. How like same thing. In the other game, you had Wukong, and
I held on
chosen, and you held on to it, and it ended up getting you an 8th. But for this one, you get you end up getting rid of the Yasuo. The problem is you still have Yasuos in your build. So I think that now what you just need to fix is actually being able to incorporate things that have a better chance. Like, because you still have Yasuo's in for no reason. You're never going to run Yasuo anymore. You get rid of all your Yasuo's and you switch your focus. And then you picked up the Annies, which ends up baiting you into Fortune.
Yeah.
My recommendation is to just stop playing Fortune. Because it's baited you too much.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to learn from losses and are like, wow, I lost a shit ton of LP. I know that I've had plenty of situations where I do something like that, where I'll end up like selling out of the Fortune, or there was like a couple games where I've slammed the wrong items and I'll literally just like sit there and I'm like, I deserve a fucking 5th after this game, and then I'll get a 5th instead of a 1st, which it could have been. And then that is a very good motivator for me to never fuck up again.
Right.
But that's just like, having that
Well,
mindset.
so I played this game, and most of the games that I've played today actually moved quick. I've done a lot better with TFT today than I was. Yesterday was a really shitty day.
Right.
Like, I played that one game on, like, streaming to you or whatever, and I griefed super hard. Then I played another game, and I griefed super hard.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah,
this game...
I think you have a little bit better of a... Like, you didn't tilt out of your fucking ass on this one.
Yeah.
But I do think that, there's still horribly critical mistakes. Like, whatever we decided here with the shop...
yeah, so today so far I've had a 3rd, a 2nd, a 6th, and a 2nd. So
yeah,
way better than yesterday's 8th, 4th, 6th, 4th, 8th,
yeah,
7th.
Definitely. And I mean, hopefully after this one, you just get a bunch of firsts. I hope, but I mean, it's not going to be perfect to transition your entire brain into this stuff, but like, constantly assess your stuff. And I don't know if you like play with music or if you listen to videos, but try and just like zone out of all that, because like, I mean, in a lot of your time, you'll notice when you play, you're just like sitting and then you are just like mousing over stuff. And it's not like you're like clicking on stuff and reading it either. You're just like sitting here. Which usually tells me that you're doing something else besides playing the game, which is just like an issue in it.
It's either that or I'm like thinking.
Right.
So
my recommendation for that is like if you're thinking, try to think out loud, like nonstop. Just talk to yourself.
Yeah, that's why I climbed the normal league. I had like literally the entire reason I got from silver 5 when that was still a thing to gold 5,
right,
was because I started playing like a streamer and I wasn't streaming. I just started talking to myself like every single decision, and I'd hear how stupid it fucking sounded in my head.
Yeah, exactly. You'd just be like right here, it'd be like, okay, well I lost that one, so it's always getting rid of this Yasuo. You can sell both the Yasuos, pick up these Annies. Might have been a grief, but. We have this, we have possibility for Vanguard, blah, blah, blah. And while you're doing it, it lets you get rid of options in your head. But then the issues with the shop, then going into Fortune. Holding Fortune for this extra turn is fucking you, because then it takes way too long to actually get Fortune in. And then...
Yeah, and then there's a chance I never even hit this cat right here. Exactly. There was no... that was really lucky for me to hit...
You were gambling to gamble, and then you got your gamble... And then you didn't cash it out. Because, I mean, right now you've lost 20 health. You have lost a 5th of your health for the game in the first stage.
Round.
Yeah. And if you had done that at, here at the first loss, that'd be different. Because then you could cash out with like 5 or 6 and it'd be worth it. But at this point, you have like 1 or 2. Actually, this is your 1. So you would have like up to 3 at max instead of like 7.
Yeah.
So it's just not valuable there anymore. You can either play Fortune when you're winning really hard or losing really hard. And most of the time, if you're winning really hard now, it's not even worth it anymore. So there's that, and then, that. But those issues, and then I think that, some of these switches, skipping over the Silas 3, horrific grief, not leveling, not becoming stronger, constantly not putting in 6 brawlers here,
not putting in 8 brawler for the rest of the game. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I didn't do that. You held 2 Vi's on your bench for a very long time, and you held like all of these Silases. And like if you don't go 8 brawler, like if you have no intention to go 8 brawler, sell your brawler chosen. Because if you're not gonna go 8 brawler, like at the end of the game like this, if you're still playing 6 fucking brawlers, sell your brawler chosen,
take out this Ari, put in 2 Brawlers, and then at level 8 you can get an Ashe chosen with Hunter.
Right.
And then if you're picking up Ashes along the way like this,
Level
you
3
are
Ashe.
2 Ashes. Yeah, exactly. Those are your win conditions. When you pick up that Brawler, your win condition is 8 Brawler and Ashe. And like a Hunter or a Lee Sin or a Legendary. You know, it's 8 Brawler, Ashe, Legendaries. That's like your win conditions. If you fill those 3 things out, that's what it takes to win the game. But when you have your win condition not fulfilled, like right now, your only win condition that you have is Ashe, which is how you got 4th. If you had filled out the other ones, you get 1st. You know, and then, you know, the level 1 Kindred being played for too long, just for traits. Passing up, I think it was like 5 Lee Sins. I noticed, I mean, I know you said this when we reviewed the other one. You know, you saw an early Jhin and you just absolutely 100% didn't want to play it. It's like you see those Lee Sins and you, like, I don't even think you'd considered it.
No, well, and I also was thinking, like, in my head, like, oh, Divine's trash, because that's what I've been ingrained from last patch.
Well, right, but I mean...
But now it's really good, so now I'll be more open to Lee Sin.
Right, but the thing is, you should be more open to that in general. Especially because, like, Lee Sin's a good unit. He was a good unit last patch. He was a good unit. He wasn't as good, but he was still a decent unit the patch before.
I play
you
him
have
in dual spots,
4 tiers. Very good. He loves blue buff. He will punch twice and knock something off. He'll literally punch once, I'm pretty sure, kick something, punch twice, and knock them off the stage. If someone has a set, you can get rid of their set frontline. Sejuani, he is so good in general for that. So, yeah, I think that just, like, you just need to play, again, like, it's, you know, it's always just a little bit more fluidly. I think that you need to play way more aggressively with your economy. Because
that's definitely something I've noticed.
The
games today, I very rarely stayed at eco for no reason. I always try to roll down to try and, as you said, put my foot on the neck of the lobby.
Right, exactly. You need to take, you have to fight on the front foot. If you fight on the back foot, you're gonna get pummeled. You're gonna get constantly run over, which is how you hit this low health discrepancy so early in the game, and then once you started burning more gold, I mean, you still didn't use your resources to the highest extent. See the 5 Brawler and the 7 Brawler on screen with the level 1 Kindred. I'm gonna keep clowning you for that until the end of the VOD.
I deserve to get clowned for that one, dude.
Damn fucking straight. And even here, like, if you're not gonna put in the fucking new, put in a second Silas, whatever, you know. There's different ways of going about, you know. If you have those 5 Brawlers,
I think the reason I was so stuck on I'm pretty sure during this game I was watching like a Soju thing on YouTube, whatever, while I was playing this game.
Right.
And I think he actually said something in the actual video of how he, like, Brawler Ashe is still good or whatever, but he doesn't think that the 200 is enough for it anymore. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason I tunneled on the Kindred.
Right, which is still bad. Don't watch a YouTube video and then I need to believe everything. Not watch. Which goes to anyone else watching this VOD. Like, not everything I say is law, but I'm trying to explain the concepts in which these things apply. So, you know, when I say don't position Tahm Kench in this one spot, there's probably situations in which I would also position Tahm Kench in those spots, but generally there's, you know, not those situations. When you play at your highest, when you are completely focused in on the game, there are, you know, and obviously I can sit here and critique, you know, for 5 minutes over one thing that happened in 2 seconds in the lobby or whatever, but that hopefully can help you immediately do that action. Which, I mean, we can go back to the Katarina thing, which is like the biggest thing, you know, like that I talked about.
Yikes of my career.
I mean, no, it's just the time spent. So, like,
and I literally could have just put in the Ashe too. I don't think I needed those items yet.
Right, and you didn't. I mean, not even that, but like you didn't even need to. Like, you could have put in the Ashe, and then put in something over. Like, you could have put in the Ashe right next to the Katarina, and then put the like, I mean, I guess anything here. And
I could have got Maokai Ekrim.
Right.
And got Elderwood.
Yep, exactly, 100%.
That cell hurts me.
Yep. And then, you know, but then, like, you do all these movements, and then, you know, you eventually position yourself right into this, and then
And
I
fit
believe in the
to
next
death.
one it was a collie that just tore you in half. So,
Yeah.
you know, like, you know, it's just like, it's the quickness, because I mean, you have 20 seconds in a turn, you know, even if like you saw that Ashe right at the beginning of this one. Actually, I think you might have rolled one for it, didn't you? Maybe.
I don't remember 100%.
I guess we'll see. So, yeah, because you pre-level, and then bam, Ashe. So right here, click, 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 put him in. And then at that point, you know, oh, you have 30 seconds. Okay, I forgot. I forget the timers. I thought it was 25 seconds at one point. But, so yeah. But, like, and that's the thing, too. You put the Silas frontline.
Yeah.
Like, you put the Silas frontline, and then you go and do something else on your shop. Like, if I'll actually just slow this down. Because this is really, really important.
So generally focus on one thing at a time, and then
It's just
it's
it's
buy
mouse clicks.
position.
That it's good, yeah, because you're interacting all at one point in the map. So yeah, so basically, if we play this now, you'll see, and I'll try and follow your movements with this.
I've already wasted 3 seconds.
Right, because you're looking at this, and you're like, okay, this is your deciding time. But what you do is you click, which is good, but you don't click again. Then you move here, and then you place a unit here, which it's never going to go, and then you go all the way back here and buy, and then you sell, and then you move this unit. First off, you place it again, and then you grab it again, and then move it over here, and you're holding it for a while.
And then I move it over.
And then you're like, and then you're like, okay, well now I need the Ashe, and so you search for the Ashe, and then you grab the Ashe, and then you move it into this position, and then you move it back, and then you move it back.
Dude, watching this
now you
slow-mo
move it
is
here,
torture.
and then you're holding, okay, and then you sell it, good, and then now you're like, okay, well, Hecarim maybe, no, Kindred, right here.
Yeah, but I think the Hecarim would have been a better option anyways.
But I mean, like, you know, either way. And you know, this right here is not the positioning you want these brawlers for, or this front line for. And I think you end up selling the Annie anyway, or like moving it somewhere or something anyway. No,
yeah,
no,
I think I frontline the
yeah,
Annie.
no, you kept it for this one. So if we go back, we can, you know, go with like what I would usually do here. So like in the event that I had the same board. I forget that it's fast forwarding and stuff and that. Now this looks so fast. So here, I hit this, immediately this is my plan. So first off, buying.
Yeah, boom.
Buying. Selling. Dropping Ashe in. Probably Kindred. I'm trying to imagine exactly what I'd be doing here. Silas goes in probably here. Then I move Maokai here. So then my Ashe is already protected. At some point I would probably level because I think I would need enough units for that. And then I'd put the items on. If I don't remember if I said I sold the Katarina and the Annie, but I would have done that at the same time. I would have done it in generally that order, but basically I would have spent all my time in the shop. Then I would have moved my units. Then I would have spent time getting rid of the units on the field.
Right.
But that's just about, like, you know, time management. And, I mean, that's something that you'll learn while playing the game more. And I'm a freak about managing my time anyway, so...
Same.
But,
I wonder how many
like
games I've actually played this season. Because I'm just curious.
It'll tell you, but... I don't know. I don't think there's anything else to go over, like, specifically in this. I think that those are, like, your most critical moments. And then just, like, paying more attention to stuff. Or, like, even reading out, like... stuff a lot, or like every time you open your shop, what I usually do is, even like if I know, like I'll just read out these. I know it's kind of hard to see, but just read out the traits. I don't know if you ever watch Keen, but he does it a lot. You just read, and then you see like a purple unit or whatever. You're like, okay, cultist sharpshooter. I don't have cultist or sharpshooter. Fortune Vanguard. Nope, don't have anything like that. Or like, oh, Brawler. You see Brawler? Okay, I already have this Brawler. You know, that might have told you at some point to put in Vi or maybe to stop going Silas. You know, hearing it out loud really can like kick your brain into actually thinking about it in a different way, because it's almost like someone else telling you, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes your brain needs to hear it instead of it just bouncing around in your head.
Yeah, I think a second today with the same comp too, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty decent comp to get rolling. It's one of the few comps that don't need like 3 stars.
Yeah.
So I think it's decent, and I think it's one of the comps that can actually beat the Divine comp right now.
I've played 2 games of Vigar today because I had like too many tiers of fucking rods and stuff where I like was like, okay, what am I even gonna play here?
Right.
And then I think a 6 because Vigar 3 is like key in that comp.
Yeah, I don't
have to hit
Vigar's
Vigar 3 to like make it work.
I think he's pretty much dead after the nerfs.
Yeah, I don't like him. I took a second with it, but that was because I outpositioned the opponent because he was bad. But
all right, but you know.
And I got Set 2 and Ezreal 2.
Those are the reasons you probably won then.
And I had double lock on Ezreal.
There you go. But yeah, I think that'll be it for this VOD then. I can't really think about anything else. It's like the level timings and stuff, and I'll upload this one to YouTube, and then that one you can, you know, see and all that to go over.
Yeah.
You know, for future reference, but
for sure.
Are there any like questions you have specifically about like a part of the game or whatever?
Not necessarily, because like now like watching it back after I've already kind of forgotten exactly how the game went. I had like a general idea of, oh yeah, I played Brawler Ashe. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
And I try to ask you questions in the beginning of like scenarios or like to get your mind thinking about different ways. Once you actually get into the build playing itself, it's hard to do that. Right. Because it's more so of a flex thing. But
I tried to stay a lot more flexible with this early game, definitely.
Yeah. I mean if you hit the Ashe and the Brawler chosen and you have Giant Slayer QSS, you're playing the comp.
Well, I had both those, and then I hit Brawler chosen and Ashe on the same. Yeah,
that's exactly in the same shop. So like at that point, yeah, you just commit to it. But that's why at that point I was not gonna, you know, make any other questions about that besides why the fuck do you still have this Kindred in, and you know there's a Tom Kench in the shop. But you know. Yeah.
So it's really just like a lot of little things I'm screwing up on. I would have Silas 3 really early.
Yep. Which would have win streaked you really hard. Same with putting in the extra brawlers, because you also have to like the thing with the brawlers is the reason why that's such a huge mistake is because it's 8 different units getting buffed.
Yeah.
Like it's not just extra health. That health is adding up. You know, if it's like in theory, which it's not. If it's, let's say you gain 50 health per brawler and it doesn't change ever. You go from the value of 2, which is 100, to 4, which is 200, to 6, which is 300, to 8, which is 400. And that's off of the same value, which it's not. It grows exponentially.
Yeah.
You know? So I think Brawler 8 is like 1800. So 1800 times 8. That's the value you're getting from it, instead of, you know, like.
And I sat there with 7 Brawler like an idiot for 90% of the game.
And you're only getting the value from 6. You're only getting the 6 Brawler buff times 7 instead of the 8 Brawler buff times 8.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why those things are important. And that's why
I can't, that level 1 Kindred, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I got so hung up on that.
Yep. And it's always good to assess, like, what's, like, if you lose a fight, it's like, what am I like, how am I losing the fight? Why am I losing? Why is this guy winning? You know, like, perfect example, the fight that I'm looking at right now. This guy's level 7 with 0 gold, and you are level 7 with 50 gold. How did he lose this fight? You know? And, I mean, I'm pretty sure he bottom forward this game. I'm going to assume he bottom forward this game. Yeah, he went 7th. So, stuff like that, but I don't know. Do you have any questions about any specific things?
Not really, because I'm a very visual learner too. So seeing my mistakes and stuff makes it way easier for me to be like, oh shit.
Yeah. And I mean, there's some stuff that you might see normally, or like may not
Right.
see. I mean, I'm looking at this now, and I guess I probably didn't mention this, but like, don't pursue 3-star units in this comp.
Yeah.
I mean, it's late in the game anyway, but at this point, you're fighting for 4th.
Right.
At the don't if you hit those free fucking Silases, go for it. But like, don't this like Nunu 3 is not gonna win you the game.
Right.
Exclusively RE3.
It's 6-1, and I shouldn't be buying.
Right. And you didn't even hit Ashe 2 here either. Did you hit Ashe 2 this game?
I did. Yeah.
You did. Okay, I thought you did. I just didn't see it for a while.
It took my final roll down to hit it, but yeah, I did.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's where, you want to roll down earlier to hit that. Like, I think we talked about rolling down farther aggressive. At, like, 7th or 8th. Yeah. Using your gold. But most definitely. I think that's it, so. Yeah, I'll end the VOD. Thank YouTube people for watching, and anyway, have a good one.